I'm good. How are you?
I'm awesome.
I have a question. Would you like to be my interviewee for my ethnography essay for music about your ethnic background in music?
Why, certainly.
All right. This phone call is being recorded.
Oh, yeah.
Because she preferred the interview to be recorded. So yeah. So I'm just gonna ask you a couple questions about ethnography and music, and we'll see how it goes. So the first question is, do you think you have an ethnic heritage?
Do I have an ethnic heritage?
Yes.
Absolutely.
What is it?
My ethnic heritage is Irish and German.
Irish and German.
And
All right.
and
Are there any pre-American, cultural traditions from Ireland or Germany that still survive in your family culture today? Is there anything you do?
No. I'd say, no, other than celebrating St. Patrick's Day and knowledge of, it's more Irish than anything, Katie.
Yeah. Are there any recipes that have come down along the line?
Yeah, I had a recipe for Irish bread.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And obviously potatoes. It's pretty easy.
Potatoes are potatoes.
Yeah, I know. Are there any Irish songs that you can think of, like holiday songs or any sort of songs that you still remember that are pertinent to being Irish?
Tora Lora Lora.
Sounds like a good one. I can't remember it myself, but yeah. Did you practice any traditions when you were a child, when you were a kid in Mattapan?
No.
No?
Nope.
All right. So, let's see, have your musical taste changed since you were a child? And this doesn't just have to be Irish stuff, just in general. Have your musical tastes changed, or are they the same?
No, they've changed.
Why might that be?
I'm sorry?
Why might that be? Why do you think your musical tastes have changed as you've grown older?
Through education, maturity, changes in attitude, knowledge.
Yeah.
Personal knowledge.
Yeah. When you were growing up, there was obviously you were a kid growing up in the 60s and the 70s. What was the culture around music when you were growing up and you were in your 20s or so?
In my 20s, music was changing from traditional ballads in the U.S. into rock and roll and protest. And music about love.
Yeah, a lot of people went behind certain themes when they were making music, and it was kind of a freedom revolution period.
Yeah.
And how would you describe the culture of music today?
The culture of music today. Wow.
The 2000s.
It's eclectic. It's there's so many different types of music to listen to and appreciate or not appreciate.
Yes. It's a wonder because we were talking in my music class about how having actual recording software has really changed how music has formed. Now you can just go to the store, or now I can just go on the internet and look it up. How do you feel about that? Because I know that when you were growing up, you didn't have the ability to just pull out a laptop and Google your favorite song and play it.
No, you had to listen to it on the radio. You had to buy albums.
Yeah. Do you think it was better having to go out and buy it on an album and listen to it there, or do you think there's like no difference between that and listening online? Or
Oh, it's totally different.
what makes it different?
You had to really make choices about what you wanted to listen to.
Mhm.
And there weren't that many radio stations to listen to different types of music.
Yeah.
It was like you had to choose your music. You had to choose what you wanted to listen to.
Yeah, and I feel like DJing back then was a little bit different too, even thinking about that, because they actually used records when they were like mixing things together and everything at a dance or whatever. Like these days with a DJ, they just like plug their laptop into speakers.
When like in the 70s, in a dance, like a high school dance, there was live bands. It wasn't DJs.
Yeah, that's really cool. I think that's super cool. How do you think that changed the mood of the dance?
Oh, I think it was. Dances were interesting because you didn't have a tremendous variety.
Yeah.
Of music by the bands playing, because they only played certain songs or certain types of songs.
Mhm.
And there was always pretty almost regimented. Like if they play rock songs and they play the slow songs and whatever.
Mhm. Yeah.
It wasn't like when DJs came along and they're just like playing everything.
And you were in Catholic school all the way up until high school, weren't you?
Right. Yep.
And like, were the songs censored at all in your dances?
Not by the people running dances. It was probably by the people hiring the band. Like the bands would never play something that was
Really raunchy or anything?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the songs that they were playing were that way.
Yeah, because like everything with prom and stuff, there's a lot of talk about like censoring songs because there's a lot of swears and like scenes and things like that. And in a church setting, it's even different.
Yeah, back in my day, it wasn't like that.
Yeah, and people danced a lot differently then than they do now, whereas it's more of like a raunchy, like sexual type of thing when you're dancing now at like a prom or something. And back then, it kind of seemed like it was more for the fun of it, like go out dancing.
Yeah, go out and have a good time.
Yeah. And another one that I just thought of is, how do you think concerts have changed from then to now, like the mood of a concert, like going to a concert?
I think the mood of a concert, going to a concert, hasn't really changed.
Yeah.
I think that people go because they like the music they're going to hear.
Yes.
And they enjoy themselves.
Yes.
And but to go to a concert now is more difficult for some people because of the price.
Yes.
Like when I was a young man, we used to go to concerts on the Common, and it cost like $4 to get in.
Mhm.
And I saw it too.
Yeah.
And like you weren't paying $125 to get in.
Exactly.
Even this full is
Mhm.
still expensive.
Mhm. Like T-shirts and everything, and merchandise has become this huge, big thing.
And there were a lot more free concerts back then too, I think.
Yeah. And the sound has kind of changed too, with the sound systems and how music has evolved.
The sounds and the presentation and everything was crazy.
Yeah.
I remember when I went to go see Queen, before they came out to perform, they announced to the crowd that they were going to be using recorded music in a live concert.
Yeah. And that's like unheard of.
Yeah.
Well, of course they have to do that for Bohemian Rhapsody, because, like, you know.
But nowadays they wouldn't even think of saying something like that.
Yeah, no, they just, like, some people even lip sync. You go to a concert and you just see one person singing. And it's not always about the performance and the fun. Like, when I saw Bruno Mars and Paul McCartney, it was about the music and the fun. But, like, sometimes they just get up there and just sing their set, and that's that.
Right.
Yeah. All right, then. Thank you for participating in this interview.
Oh, thank you very
This
much
surprise interview. I'm going to hang up so that I can stop the recording and then call back right after.
Okay, very good. I love you.
All right. Love you too. Thanks. Bye.